Hey, GD Talbot here. I know I was going to talk more about writing, so today I might do some back-to-back videos and put in another one about writing. But I want to do one more video, at least one more, about COVID. And I really want to talk about COVID in children and being a germaphobe. So first, I want to, a little backstory on me. About 9 years ago or so, my middle child that's in the house was born, and three infants in upstate New York died of whooping cough. And come to find out, the parents were carriers, but didn't have whooping cough. So this made me extremely paranoid. I didn't want my little infant baby to die. I became very illogical about viruses. I became a massively overused Germ-X and things like that. But I didn't wear masks, and I didn't wear them during flu season. The reason for this is all the studies show that outside a sterile environment and not using N95 masks, you're more likely to spread viruses than wear a mask. People get mad at me because I keep pointing this out, because the same people say, wear the mask, respect the science. You're not respecting the science. This is plainly true. If you're not going to wear masks properly, store them properly, clean them properly, and or dispose of them properly and in a timely manner, like you would do in a sterile environment like a hospital using N95 masks, and you're outside of a hospital in non-sterile environments and you're not doing any of these things, yes, you are spreading more viruses than anything else. You're not stopping it. And there's a lot of evidence that shows that this doesn't. Now, if you properly store masks, clean masks, change masks out, to properly dispose and do things, does it give you a slight chance of not spreading or getting infected by a virus? Yes. The problem is the American people do not understand the numbers. This is an extremely, extremely low number. And it goes extremely low as soon as you leave a sterile environment. This number goes way low of chance of doing it, even if you're doing everything perfectly. And I know a lot of people in the medical industry that, they agree with me on this. And I think a lot of people in the medical industry are kind of pissed off this hypocrisy is going on because the science is not there. Now, if you want to do this extra to give yourself a little bit more chance of protecting yourself, sure, go ahead. The problem is we know that the mass majority of people, especially in the beginning, were not wearing masks. Now, this is coming from a germaphobe, or should I say a reformed, recovering germaphobe, where actually watching you normies out there freak out over COVID has actually helped me to return back to the person I used to be and not be, illogical over viruses anymore. Probably also my three youngest children are also getting up there now. They're not, they're still in elementary school, but they're not babies anymore, which I think also helps. Because it is, if you're a germaphobe, you have an illogical fear. If you think you're a germaphobe and your fear isn't illogical, then you don't understand what a germaphobe is. It's definitely an illogical fear, and I understand that. And I've noticed that most germaphobes know this too. They know they have an illogical fear, and that's what another reason, not just me, but I've seen other people that are germaphobes coming out of that, because honestly, yeah, because you normies are being illogical now. We see how we were reacting and allowed to do what? That's right. Oh, facts matter over our emotions. So yeah, just a little back on sorry than me. So I'm not an anti-masker. I am anti-using something that was never supposed to help to begin with, and the science proves it wasn't supposed to. So why use it? Like, it makes no sense to me. If you want to, but if you have to understand, it is tiny little bits. Social distancing will actually do a lot more. I mean, I can tell you before COVID, I'd go into a grocery store. Man, I desperately need milk. Going to the milk aisle. There's a kid hawking and coughing so hard he's almost puking. Guess what? GD ain't getting the milk that day. Like, yeah, social distancing, making yourself distant. And this is the thing I noticed too, and I talked about in another video. If you use Germ-X, you overly use Germ-X, people have a tendency to be more aware of their surroundings. Oh, GD, you're saying Germ-X save us. No, I actually don't. I think overusing Germ-X is probably more harmful than good. But if you want to make yourself aware, overusing Germ-X will make you more aware. I don't know what it is. You can watch and observe people. I do it too. The more I use Germ-X, the more I know what I'm touching, where I am, and I actually start social distancing. I watch people in masks and myself in a mask, and I stop social distancing. I don't care if people are coughing and hacking. I don't know why. I hope somebody does a study on the psychologicalness of masks, because people who wear masks seem to have this false sense. Hell, I've seen people screaming, "You're going to infect me," and then violently attack and touch someone without a mask. Like, the illogicalness of masks makes no sense. So, by getting back to my point about COVID and children, I wanted to express where I come from. I'm not an anti-masker. Actually, in a sterile environment where people are being quarantined in operating rooms, hell yeah, this is a great idea. But it's also in a controlled environment. See, as soon as you leave the hospital, you're not in a controlled environment. You have to control the environment, which, I'm sorry. If I had to guess, 99% of the American people are not doing right now. But the other thing about COVID I think we need to talk about is its children. The children now, we are going to have an entire generation with no empathy and no compassion. And people say to me, "Why don't you let your children go back to school?" I said, simple. I will not allow them to be treated like diseased cattle. And I don't care what the school systems are saying. I don't care what they're doing. They are doing this. Whether it's in their intent or not, this is the result. And I'm not really angry or mad with the school system about this, but I refuse to let my children be this way. And I talk about all the time about masks. Like, you can hear me now struggling to breathe a little bit. Ever since I had cancer, I've had a breathing issue. So it makes me have a little bit of problem. And I have a problem wearing a mask, because I sometimes have a little trouble breathing ever since I had cancer. I still wear a mask in public and when I go shopping. People go, "Oh, you're a hypocrite." No, I'm not. Mental health is a direct connection to physical health. If people out there feel better by seeing me in a mask and it makes their mental well-being better, will lead to physical health. Well, I should say, lead to helping them have a better physical condition. This is true. You don't believe me? Look it up. It is. Mental health is directly connected to physical health, and I don't mind doing it. But I have a 10-year-old daughter who says, "I don't understand, Daddy. You know that masks are not saving us." Like, my daughter's paying attention. She's paying attention to me. She's paying attention to school. She's paying attention to what people are saying. And she's like, "Yeah, this is not the savior. Like, masks are not going to save us all from COVID. This is true. Masks are not going to stop a virus from coming into our country. Masks are not going to stop the spread. And if it does, it's going to be a very, very small percent. It's still going to spread like wildfire. There's nothing you can do about it." And she understands this. And I explained to her, yes, but if people see me in a mask and it makes them feel better, shouldn't I care and love my friends, my family, and my neighbors enough to do that simple act? Like, I'm not in a store for more than 5-10 minutes. And I've had breathing problems. I've actually just gone outside, gone 20 or 30 feet from the door, take a breath. I said, but it makes, in my 10-year-old is learning this, I'm showing compassion. She's learning that I am giving compassion, even though I completely disagree with the mandates. I'm showing love and compassion for those who do believe this ignorance that they have been brainwashed into believing. I still show love and compassion in the school. "Why aren't you 6 feet away? Where's your mask? Did you get a Q-tip up your nose?" Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't care how loving you do that to a child. Every day, they're going to learn that people are just potential disease centers and infectious centers, not people. And the loss of humanity on this, on this younger generation now that are in elementary school, going to grow up to not have, majority of them are not going to have, humanity, compassion, or anything for their fellow man, is a bad thing. And like I said, to other people that say, "Well, I believe in that." Yeah, what are you teaching your children? And I'm right. And everyone argues me that they know deep down I'm right. You're not teaching your child compassion or anything, empathy, compassion, anything to your young children. You're teaching them to fear, hate, and to think of people as non-human. This is the biggest problem I have when it has to do with COVID and children. That's the reason I won't let them go to school. I'm sorry. It's already been proven through everywhere, even including the CDC, that if you're 20 years of age or younger, you're more likely to die of the flu, and we have a new vaccine for the flu every year. Tell me when's the last time we shut down schools for the flu? Never. Why? Because there's no empathy, compassion for our children. Only the healthy. All we care about is the healthy and the young adults. That's not going to teach love and compassion for our young children. So that's the thing. So if you do believe in masks, this is an easy change. Tell your children when you're walking through a store to say excuse me to people as they walk through. Tell them it's okay to wave hi. They can stay 6 feet and wave to people. I have seen elderly people, especially elderly women, almost break down in tears for my children walking by and just waving, hi, how are you today? Human contact, compassion, empathy, love for our fellow human. So if you want to force them to wear a mask, force them to say, oh my God, everyone's a disease, you're going to die. How about just stop that end part? Say, wear your mask, social distance, and be kind. Because I can tell you for a fact, I have not seen this with anyone else other than me and my children. And the overwhelming pouring out of other people, like, oh my, you can see it in their faces. You took a moment to say hello to me, to be kind to me, to be nice to me. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. There's a thing going on with the elderly, too, where they're being told, we're all going to come and kill you with our virus. And they're scared of people, and they don't want to be. They just want people to treat them like people. So in conclusion, from an ex-germaphobe that doesn't believe that masks are saving the world, this is why. Because they weren't saving the world from any other virus. Just this one. That tells me they're trying to manipulate all of us. And I don't 100% know why. And oh boy, I don't want to hear the conspiracy theories. If you do, whatever. Like, until you have facts, not your feelings, you can't say anything. But there is definitely a conspiracy. I don't know what the end result is they're trying to go for here. But I can tell you what the results are. I can tell you what the facts are. And the facts are, masks are not going to save us. They're not the saviors of the world. Sorry. In fact, now that we're getting to a part where people are starting to use them correctly, it's way too late. Like, the time for that would have been before COVID hit. But of course, that would be logical, and most people don't want to hear the logic. But anyhow, I'm D.D. Talbot. I might do one more video today on writing. If you're out and about today, say something or even do kind things for other people. Kind words spread joys. And I'm dry and I'm out. Bye.